There are many times that as a web developer, you need some elements to be at a specific position on a page. Today, I'll show you how to achieve that with the CSS Position property. The CSS Position property specifies the type of position method used for an element. There are 5 different values, namely static, relative, fixed, absolute, and sticky. To demonstrate each position value, I have defined some paragraphs on my page, as you can see here. There is also a red container, which has a chart with yellow background, and a smaller container with blue background. As I mentioned earlier, there are 5 different position values. The first one, which is static, is the default value. An element which has a position value of static is always positioned according to the normal flow of the page. For example, you can see in my CSS that I have not set any position property to any of my containers. But when I right click on any of them and head over to DevTools, click the Computer tab and then search Position, you will see that the position value has been set to static. That's all there is to know about the static position. The next position value is relative. An element with position relative is positioned relative to its normal position. For example, I will set my red container to position relative. Now, to adjust the position, let's say I want to move it to the right. I will just write left 200 pixels. The left property I just defined only means how far I want to offset the container from the left of its normal position. In this case, I moved it 200 pixels away from the left. If I want to move it 200 pixels from the top, I'll just write top 200 pixels. You can also notice the normal position of the element has been left empty. That is because with the position relative, other elements will not adjust to fit into the gap left by the relative element. Moreover, when I scroll, the page maintains its normal flow. Next value is the position fixed. An element with position fixed is positioned relative to the viewport. I will give my second container with blue background a position fixed, top 20 pixels and left 100 pixels. Notice it stays in the same place no matter how much I scroll my page. Also, it does not leave a gap in the page where it would normally be located. It has been completely taken out of the normal flow of the page. Next position is absolute. An element with position absolute is positioned relative to its nearest relative container. For example, I will define a position absolute for the child element with yellow background, top 20 pixels and left 100 pixels. You can see that it has been positioned relative to the document just like position fixed value, but it moves along when a page is scrolled. If I want its position relative to its container, then I'll just define a position relative on the parent container. If you want a project example where I applied the position absolute, click the link in the description below. Final position value is the position sticky. An element with position sticky is positioned based on the user's scroll position. I will define a sticky position on my container with blue background. I'll give it top 20 pixels. Now I'll scroll the page and let's see. You can see that the element stays in its relative position until the given offset position is met in the viewport, and then it sticks to that position. Let me add the bottom offset property, 20 pixels, and let's see. Now you can see the same thing happens at the bottom of the viewport. This is just one concept in CSS that developers use a lot. For other CSS properties like Flexbox, check out the description below. Make sure to smash the like button if you found this video helpful. Subscribe before leaving and hit the bell icon to make sure you don't miss any new video uploads. Thanks for staying with me, and I'll see you in another video.